All right, welcome to Sure Jan, Season 1, Episode 7. I'm Jan.
Sure, Jan.
Hi. How you guys doing? I did want to mention right off the get-go, I'm going to give a plug to somebody, a company that I don't normally partake in, but this was freaking amazing, and I had to make an exception. These are called Oreo chocolate-covered pretzels in a yellow bag,
Oh my gosh.
and they were amazing. So I have to give a plug to those because I've been smashing those things. They are so good. They're just enough salt, and then the cream in the middle is chocolate, and it's just enough chocolate and has a good crunch to it, kind of like a crunchy pretzel. Yeah, it's pretty good. I was impressed.
Okay, wait. So they're Oreo chocolate covered pretzels.
Yeah, they're called chocolate covered pretzel, but what it is you have the pretzel is the cookie and then the chocolate is the inside. So technically it's not chocolate covered pretzel, but it's pretzel with chocolate. Who cares at this point? I'm just eating them.
But where again, just for clarification, where's the cream filling there?
The cream filling is the chocolate.
Oh, it's chocolate cream. It's not the
Yeah,
large.
no, it's pretzel
Oh,
flavored cookie, artificially flavored, topping with salt and chocolate flavored cream. The salt and the chocolate are pretty tasty.
that sounds great.
It's got a good crunch. So yeah, I recommend them.
All right, I'm gonna make a note right now.
That's right, everybody write that down. Chocolate covered pretzels, Oreo.
What you started store?
You know what? I think they popped up in some ad when I was scrolling for a game, and there it was. I was like, Oreos. Wait a minute, and I had to take a look. I'm like, well, you know what? That actually looks pretty good, and it was. I was like, dang it, why did it have to be good? So there is an Oreo product that I like, so I have to admit that now.
Too. That's fantastic.
I know Mom has tried True Oreo, like double stuff, like pledge allegiance to the double stuff.
A couple of bags of those stuffed around a little bit. The problem with me is they don't last.
No, they don't. I've been just trying to hold myself to a couple at a time, and it's tough. I left them here because if I'd have taken them with me to work, I
Yeah.
only worked half a day. That they'd be gone, and I'm
Oh,
getting fat, so I need to freaking taper off on this shit. It's not like the old days when I could fit into my old nice clothes. But we don't wear clothes like we did back in the '80s. The like Jordashes and those pants were so flippin' tight. Holy crap! Remember Dittos when we were in like grade school?
I had Ditto's Gauchos. Oh my god, yeah, that was the coolest thing. But I do remember in high school, like, laying on my bed, like, laying flat on my bed and, like, having to, like, button my pants up that way. So stupid.
That's hilarious.
Oh my god. And even the tights that we wore for track, they were just too tight. They were just always obnoxious.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, but that's just how they were built. Every look at the basketball players back then: booty tight short shorts. I mean, booty tight short shorts. You better
Yes.
have some nice thighs, okay?
Yeah, like Magnum PI, his shorts.
Mm-hmm.
God damn.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, then we had things that would be the polar opposite, like boat shoes. Remember when boat shoes were a thing? Oh my
Oh,
god! And then
yeah.
our what else? Oh, tube tops. Oh my lord!
I never wore a tube top in my
What the hell would I hold that up with? It would be just tube strip. I don't know. It would only be white as a small section there. Be
Now,
a big dot.
wait a minute. There is a picture in existence of you wearing a purple type tube top with a string around it, like around your neck to hold it up.
Oh yeah, yeah. It would have to have an anchor. It would never go any other. I would have to have something that's gonna guarantee that fucker stays up because I don't have anything to hold it up. Like you wouldn't have that problem. You could have put it on and for days you could have had those in there, but not me.
The absolute stress and fear of somebody just like grabbing it and pulling it down for me was just,
And that was a thing. That was a
yeah.
honest to God legit fear that a boy would come up or a mean girl even come up and rip that fucker off. And boy, you're just exposed. God, man.
I'll tell you what, if that happened, it would have been your own fault for wearing them. Why did you wear that?
If anyone would have done that to you, I would have beat them unconscious. It's as simple as that. I would have beat them unconscious.
100%
I
would have
mean,
tattled.
what happens when you get your hair pulled, right? you get your ass kicked. That's right, Eddie Spaghetti. Don't forget that shit.
Oh, I hate that guy.
Yep, yep. You may like her and you may pull on her freaking hair because you have a crush on her, but her older sister's waiting behind that hill to kick your ass.
Maybe he likes you. Oh, really? He abuses me?
Uh,
Yeah.
oh, he's just being a boy. Oh,
Likes
okay.
me. He wouldn't hit me if he didn't love me. He said he loved me.
I want to punch anyone that says that. That's just
Everybody who's listening, that's not true.
talk about terrible advice. God, no. That's it's not good behavior. Oh, speaking of clothes and tube tops and all that, I was thinking the other day of the ultimate clothing that reminds me of you when you were little, and that is Geranimals. Please talk about
The
Geranimals.
animals were this amazing fucking invention where they had the tops and the bottoms, and they had like coinciding stickers on them. So like a purple gorilla pants. If you went over and found a purple gorilla shirt, then those matched. You could wear those and they matched. And then they had like yellow lion and and like all the different red monkey and a green frog, I think. I don't know why I remember this kind of shit, but I can't
I can't
remember.
believe you remember any of those. I just
Yeah,
remember color coding, but I have no. I can't. I remember they were animals, but I do not. I mean, I was too old for
I don't know
Geranimals.
who the fashion icons are out there, but
I
they need
missed
to
that
reinvent
arc.
that. Yeah, they need to reinvent that for grown-ups because trying to match clothes as a grown up is just still not my forte because I'm just desperately waiting for grown up Granimals to come back. Those were the greatest things ever,
You might
ever.
have a market there, so
I don't know. I don't know.
I know plenty of people that can't dress themselves, so you
I'm
have a
the fucking
market.
worst person to do it because I still can't dress myself. I'm like, does this white match this black? You know what I mean? It's like I have black.
I do, because I mean, I pretty much wear four colors, and that's it. So
I love patterned clothes, but I hate patterned clothes because I'll have like patterned pants and then like a really cute little top that I would think, oh, looks so good together, but the patterns don't match. And I'm just like, oh, what
you're like, I've been fooled before. Oh,
everybody's looking at you. You're like, must look nice. And everybody's like, what is that bitch
they're
wearing?
like,
Oh
oh
my.
my god, did she really wear that with that? Fuck. Yeah, and here I thought it was looking good.
You can basically look at how I dress and realize, oh, you were dependent on Garanimals when you were growing up, weren't you? 100%. Yes, I was. I was.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that's funny. I do remember Izod shirts. I always wanted an Izod shirt, but they were so flippin' expensive. We'd get
Yeah.
like a polo shirt and just hope that we could stitch some like a broken dog in it or something. I don't know. Um, what else was there? Oh, members only. I had a members only jacket. It was maroon, and that was
Absolutely.
like my prized possession. I had a Jordache purple Jordache bag and a well, it was kind of plum, I guess. Plum members only jacket.
And see what the youngsters of nowadays, and I mean anyone younger than 40, what you guys don't get is they didn't have knockoffs, or they would have knockoffs, but they were obvious knockoffs. And they didn't have these like secondhand places, like Plato's Closet or
Oh, we
Crossroads.
are the secondhand places.
Yeah,
Yeah,
anywhere where you could go like and get it cheaper. It's like you paid full price for something or you just didn't have it
yeah.
because there were no options to go get something hella cool somewhere else. Like they didn't have Marshalls or TJ Maxx or anything like that. Mervis didn't even fucking carry any of those high end things. You had to go to Macy's or Neiman Marcus or Bloomingdale's or something like that to get these places, of which we only had Macy's. And I think that was like later in our childhood.
Yeah, we didn't get Macy's till the mall opened like in '77. That's when we got a Macy's. Fuck.
The fucking frustrating thing for me was it's like the men's like if I wanted to like let's just say a turtleneck, I would like to have a pink turtleneck. But it was again, these are going to be 80s prices. You go to the boys section where they had like five colors, like maroon, gray, dark blue, dark green, and black. But they were like $7 or whatever. And it's
Uh,
just makes no fucking sense. I have this much money. I can get three shirts in the boys department or I can get one shirt in the girls department. Such bullshit.
A frugality could have been what led me into liking men's clothes better. They're just cheaper, and I'm cheap.
Like,
I was forced into it. I can get 7 shirts for $5. God damn it! What am I supposed to do?
and but in that same concept of what you're talking about, their shit lasted longer than ours too.
Oh yeah,
Their clothes were more durable than ours. So like they would hold up to like washings and stuff like that. It's like if you washed one of our shirts twice, it's A either going to shrink or it's B going to fade.
fade. I was just gonna say, or it's
Fucking
shrink and fade.
yeah, exactly. In just the one washing, you don't even
Right?
have to wash it twice. You
Or
still
your
get
mom could throw a red sock in, and now it's peach or
our,
mauve. Yeah.
our fucking laundry was perfect. Are you kidding me? Yeah,
That
that's
happened, yeah, that happened one time to my freaking my suit for Disneyland. It got mixed in. Yeah, I was like, son of a bitch.
that's
Something I
not.
don't want to wear is even more girl color now. Lovely. This is just fabulous. Mom's all, oh, it doesn't look bad. I'm like, Mom, no.
It doesn't look bad for a
Uh,
normal. I am
yeah,
not
it
normal.
doesn't. It's girl clothes. I know. God, don't remind me. I'll wear it when I get there. God damn it. Oh yeah, the good days.
Such bullshit. It's like, hey, get in your nicest clothes and then go spend 6 hours trying to have fun with,
Just trying to get by.
other fucking schools from.
With some other school, you have no idea
Oh,
who
and
they
not
are.
only that, y'all are going to pay extra for it. And then, did they do dinner for you when you went?
Oh yeah, it was gross. It was
Yeah,
disgusting.
ours was like up there where Space Mountain is, like that
Okay.
like whole little walk. That's where ours was. So like they had like all of Tomorrowland for us until they could scrape out everybody from the rest of the park before they opened the rest of the park for us. So we were all like just hanging out in Tomorrowland forever.
I
So
remember eating food in the people movers that went across the top of the park. We were
hilarious.
eating like Chinese food or something. I don't remember where I got it from. Oh
You're not
yeah.
allowed to drink there. Not allowed to
I
drink
got to
there.
play with Greg Kinn, man. It was pretty cool.
Who
Well,
else?
after the day I've had today, let's not talk about that. Okay.
Who else
Um,
was?
you know what? I can't remember who else was playing because that meant more to me. I can't remember.
Yes.
I can't remember who played. I know there were a couple of bands there. Honestly, I know someone who would know, but I can't get hold of her right now to find out. You know what? I'm gonna get that playlist and I'm gonna get back to you on that.
All
Oh,
right.
I do have a listener that wanted me to correct myself with Odd Thomas.
Yeah.
I thought that it was Stephen King, and who is it?
Dean Koontz.
Dean Koontz. Okay, Dean Koontz. I didn't know Dean Koontz wrote like that too. Am I not reading Dean Koontz? I just don't
Yeah.
read Dean Koontz.
Probably not. He's pretty great. His
Okay.
stuff's
All right. I thought, well, see, because I like Tom Clancy, but Tom Clancy's more like, Delta 7, those kind of books. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? And he
Like
plays great video games, by the way. Holy crap, I love Tom Clancy games. Did we already talk about Olin Mills here? I
I
had it on
don't.
my list, but I don't remember if we talked about that. I don't know if everybody had an Olin Mills or not, but we had something called Olin Mills, and it was where your whole family would go to get like your family pictures taken. And man, it was awkward and just it was just never a great experience. No one ever really wanted to be there, but how else are you going to get family pictures, right?
Linked in every single picture.
You were infamous. Every couple of snaps, you would blink.
Not
You were
every
just
couple.
having fun. You're just sitting there. Dee, dee. I mean, you were just
No,
having fun.
not every couple. All of them. All of them. Every picture they would take, they would look at it and they'd be like, "Okay, Sally blinked," and then the bitch would like she'd point it out. She'd tell everybody, "Yeah, that was all perfect except Sally blinked again. Let's do this again." Fuck.
Let's make sure the 9-year-old's getting all the daggers in the room, okay?
It was truly never a positive experience for me. It's like I like the outcome. The pictures are great. The one picture out of 48 that they took of us that mom was forced to pick the one fucking picture. Doesn't matter who else looks good in it because Sally didn't blink and fuck up this one.
God, and you had to wait so long to get it because they had to
Oh
develop
yeah.
them, and it's like it's so pointless now. It's almost like that we even had to
Totally
go through all
instant.
that.
Yeah, you can like you don't even if you blink, you can still fix it. You don't even have to retake it.
Yep, you can just freaking fix the eyes. It's like, man,
So
that's
fucking
funny. Yeah, I wanted to bring that up because that was kind of funny.
And
Um,
I think mom did a good job of like whenever we were going, it's like she would like she'd picked out our clothes. This is what you're wearing. She
yeah,
made we were all color coordinated.
yeah,
Go to your
yeah.
room, get dressed with the shit that I put on your fucking bed for you.
Pretty much,
They're
yeah.
Geranimals, Sally. They match. Go put them on.
Oh, that's funny.
Don't leave me to pick out what I'm gonna wear. It'll be something
I
really
was
stupid.
like that one we had with our entire family, with uncles and aunts, and then we never see them again. I'm like, oh, it's a good thing I got a picture of you, because I'll never fucking see you again. Lovely.
I'm not really sure when that happened because I don't remember that at all.
Well, it's because you were blinking, so you missed it.
I blinked and I
You
missed it.
completely missed it. Oh shit. But yeah. Oh, I want to talk about. I was binging Unsolved Mysteries. Okay, I because I just love that show. Robert Stack is so awesome, and they had sometimes the family reunion ones are kind of annoying, and sometimes they're really cool. This one was like I don't know, maybe 10 siblings, and their mother was just like the town tramp. Okay, and she's like getting knocked up all the time, and she just abandons one kid after another. I mean, like 10 of them before she finally freaking dies.
Remember this?
Well, and then all the siblings slowly start finding each other. Okay, and then they end up all finding each other. All of them. Every one of them found each other. And then the girl was sitting there reflecting on it, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm sure our mother's looking down from heaven, and she's probably really happy right now." And I'm thinking, nah,
So
doubt she's looking down on
it's
you
just
when she abandoned all of you. Pretty sure she's gonna be looking up at you at that point. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
and secondly, she's not following what you're doing
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah,
She doesn't
no, no, she's paying her debt. Oh my
she
goodness,
does
yeah.
not look down on you.
She is not looking down on you. Thank you very much.
Oh, honey.
But that was such an amazing show.
Oh, yeah, it really showed us how horrible people are.
Oh man, just and
All of that.
the freak shit that happens on there. You're like, holy crap, that really happened? What the fuck?
Yeah. I remember that there was yeah, you did get to experience, like, all of the fucking shitty people out there and realize, "Hey, you know what? I might be bored where I'm at, but at least I'm alive."
Yeah, I don't have people that are trying to murder me to take my freaking tennis shoes, and it's
Yeah,
like, holy crap.
even I think that's when we were first experienced the whole, like, kids getting snatched out of their house too.
Yeah, and it was, I mean, it was what, late 80s? It was really, it's like that's when serial killers were really starting to pop up. And
Mid-80s.
yeah, they did forensics started coming out, and it's like, oh
I
boy.
think they've always been there, but it's like those shows were focused on them
Oh
and like,
yeah.
"Oh, shit, that really happens?" It's like, "That's not in a book or that's not some wives' tale. No, that's fucking real ass shit that happens," and
Oh yeah, I mean, between that and America's Most Wanted, people got involved, and I think that that's what it was. You took some pride in capturing somebody. It was like, fuck you,
mhm.
dude. You think you're slick? I saw you yesterday. Guess what? Do, 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 do.
Realize that the reach that the your neighborhood is a lot bigger than your neighborhood, you know?
What happens in someone else's neighborhood can definitely affect your neighborhood. So you're all on the same team, right?
Like a kid getting kidnapped, and then they find them years later 60 miles away. In your head, you're like, "Well, 60 miles, that's not very far," but that's really fucking far.
That's an hour.
Between you and where that kid was found, it's like it's just heartbreaking.
Oh
Yeah,
Lord. I
but
got something over Christmas, and I thought, you know what, I better freaking fix this stuff before it expires. They're cookies, and they came with like a little baby cast iron pan.
oh,
So I took them out because obviously I wanted to make them. One's like a Reese's peanut butter cup cookie, and then one's like an Oreo brownie, and then the other one's just like a chocolate chip brownie.
well, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it tells you, you got to season the pans first, and I'm like, fuck. I've heard about this cast iron seasoning shit. I've heard about this, but I don't use cast iron, so I don't know anything about it. So I'm like, shit, okay. So I read the directions on one, and it's like, it says, oh, first you gotta, clean it with soap and water, scrub it with soap and water, scour it with soapy water, dry it off, and then coat it with vegetable oil and bake for 2 hours at 350. I'm like, okay. So I'm setting it aside and I'm like, fuck, I'll do all three right now. And I take the other pack out and I look at the back and I'm like, it says, you know, soapy water. I'm like, okay, no scour. It says one, it says coat with vegetable oil, bake at 350. I'm like, oh, okay, another 350, but at an hour instead of two. I'm like, okay. So I put it down. I grab the third one. It says no soap or scour. It said coat and bake away. I'm like, wait a minute. Hang on a minute. Wait just a goddamn minute here. I'm like, hang on now.
All the same.
How did I get three different things for this month? Oh my god, three different ideas on how to season the damn pan. And still, I don't really even know what the proper thing is, so I have no idea. So yeah,
I think the first one's proper.
that's kind of I went with an hour and a half just to be safe, but it said you can season them multiple times, so I'll probably do it again.
And then I hope you don't ever use soap on them.
No, it just said to use it on the initial, and then don't use soap or not water. But if you use water, you got to dry it off so it doesn't rust. You'll have
Right.
to season it all over again.
Yeah.
And I'm
And
like, okay, doesn't everything just stick to cast iron?
you can make a salt slurry on it. Like, put a bunch of salt on it and just like a little bit of warm water and just like slurry it around like over the heat and that like
You mean
will
to clean it?
yeah. And then they also have this little thing. It's about like it's like about 2 inches by 2 inches, and it's like beads. And then you put it in there, and you like rub the beads around a little bit again with the hot water. I don't no, 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 not that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I
Don't
didn't say a
do
word, not a word.
that.
But yeah, that was pretty much what I had for today. So I don't know if you have anything to add
About Geranimals? Always
about anything.
about Geranimals. No,
Oh,
that's
I guess we could talk about like I wanted to actually mention when we were younger.
when we were young.
When we were young. I think we already talked about mom and AOL being like the pioneer with the computer.
Listening, Mom, I love you.
Well, we both love you, but yeah, the technology is much more difficult now than it was then too. I thought we were. Did I talk about albums and all that? How it started with that?
No, let's talk about the albums.
Yeah, I remember I was going to bring up how the progression, the but the things that have happened like in our lifetime. How when we're younger, we started off with vinyl albums, vinyl singles, and that was pretty much what we had. What till we moved to the second house, and then it turned into. I think we kind of missed 8 tracks.
Well, we had 8 tracks when we lived at the other house because I remember Dad's truck had an 8-track player.
My car had one in the end.
That was all you could listen to in the car. I'm pretty sure one was fucking yodeling dude.
Right, because he asked me to get him a converter that you slide in and turn it into a cassette player.
Yeah, and then he goes and buys the same fucking cassettes that he had on 8-track.
Uh huh. Yeah, yeah.
It's like,
That's
Dad, what
that's about.
man?
But I mean, they had like the full cassettes, and even then, they went single cassettes. Like you buy a cassette for a
Mhm.
song, a cassette for a song. It is ridiculous. I don't know how we even did that. I don't know why we bother. Then we got the CDs, and then they kind of did the same with CDs. They started breaking them down to individual songs and little mini CDs. Those didn't last very long. And then MP3 is just pretty much
Mini
over.
CDs? What was a mini CD? Like a tiny one?
Yeah, they were little. They were about half
Oh,
the
you mean like
size.
the ones that went like in like recorders and shit like that, like voice recorders and stuff, or like in the answering machines?
No, you could record on them. Yeah, I'm sure there were answering machines that had those too, but those were super tiny ones that you're talking about. I'm talking about the ones that are like half the size of a CD.
Oh, I'm not
They
familiar
didn't
with
last long. They didn't last long because digital came out and just murdered everything. Digital killed the radio star. I'm sorry.
in my heart and in my heart.
In my mind. In my mind.
Gone too far.
In my heart. Mine. In my heart. There you go.
Radio
I don't know.
star,
It's a good
radio,
song. I remember that song.
radio star. Have we touched on like jobs we had when we were younger?
Not really.
Do you remember? I know you do. Refereeing soccer games.
Oh Lord, yes. Yes, yes,
I remember
yes.
I know I was super young. I know you were, like, 16 when you were doing it. I think I started when I was 15, but only because you had done it, and I just remember, being a fucking 15-year-old girl reffing under 6 soccer, and I'm using air quotes, games.
Yeah, with angry parents.
You're it's basically, you're instructed to, yes, you have to know the rules, you have to kinda call fouls and shit like that, but they also want you to educate the kid, teach them as well. So, like, calling back a throw in that they did incorrectly and trying to show them how to do it, and then having that fucking grown ass man screaming in your face,
You're gonna let him do it again?
"I don't get to do it again. You have to switch. That's our ball now. It's our ball." That kind of bullshit,
Yeah, yeah.
I remember having to throw grown people out of a game because they were cussing in front of the kids and everything. It's like you're this 15-year-old kid, basically. Now don't get me wrong. I know that both you and I had way more fucking knowledge of the game than most of these parents that were on the side.
Yeah.
And so having them yell at us, we still had to have our decorum and couldn't lose our tempers and couldn't, any of that kind of stuff. It was a great introduction to what you were going to be experiencing in
To the
life.
assholes of the future, yes. Yes.
Exactly. And it was as far as, so as far as like that kind of experience, it was unfortunate, but I really feel like I know I learned a lot from it.
I learned that adults really don't have etiquette with kids. If they're pissed off enough, they don't give a fuck. And that's too bad because it shouldn't be like that. They should never be speaking to a 15-year-old like that.
Still be competitive and all that, and voice all your stuff. But I do remember there were a few times I had to red card grown, and I'm sorry, men. It was never women. It was always the men screaming at you and all this and that, and having to stick to your call, and you couldn't really doubt yourself and everything. I remember because I couldn't drive. Mom would drive me to the games to ref, and she'd be sitting in the parking lot, and these people would be screaming at me, and I remember her. Luckily, most of the coaches were pretty good about telling the parents to leave and all that kind of stuff, but.
Yeah. It sowed the seeds of my misanthropy, my hatred of humans. It sowed the seeds for me. I'm just
Yeah,
like, wow, these are what people are really like, huh? Okay.
even being like having to be a lineman at like tournaments and stuff.
It's referees in general just get attacked.
100%, yeah, for sure. Well,
And
my first job before that was keeping score at baseball games,
yeah, I did slow pitch for little kids. Yeah.
El Paso games and stuff like that, and I just being a
Mhm.
scorekeeper, and then, like, I think I like, either maybe 8th grade, something like that, and then, like, the umpires were high school students that you went to high school with, because I would recognize some of them. You played softball at the same time as baseball season, so all that. And I just remember them just same thing, I'd be sitting there keeping the score and these guys would be like, they'd be screaming because I had to keep all the balls and strikes and all that. And I'm paying really close attention. I'm earning my fucking $15 for this game. I'll tell you that.
Right.
And again, it's just, it's saying, it's just, we ain't making money. We're not going to go
No,
buy our
we're just making pocket change.
refereeing these games. It's like
We're keeping ourselves out of trouble.
perspective, folks. But I was just remembering jobs that we had when we were younger. And I just remember coaching, or yeah, I remember that.
We were young enough. Well, I mean, back then you could do jobs like that. There weren't grown adults taking all the jobs.
Right.
Back then it was a summer job. You could work for Parks and Rec during the summer and watch a gym. But now there's adults that take that
Because they have to survive.
because, yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah, your living wage hasn't caught up to everything else that's
no, no.
but I don't know, I have some distinct memories about that, and I know mom would know better because I remember there was a couple of games where, like, after the game, I would just I would, like, get over, like, walk as fast as I could to the car and just get in the car and just start sobbing, just because getting yelled at and everything, and she'd just getting pissed off, and just like, and she's like, "I'm gonna say so. Don't say anything. I don't want to get fired."
I remember one guy yelling at me, and I turned around and looked at him. I said, "What did you say?" And he goes, nothing." And I'm like, "That's what I thought." He never said another damn word the rest of the game. I'm like, "Yeah, you just had a 15-year-old put you in check with my anger. Yeah, I'm not
Because
little, bro. Don't talk to me like that."
their intimidation practices are then it's just they're so fucking confident in what they're saying and they've been able to get away with the way they treat people for so long, it's just go fuck yourself.
Pretty much, yeah. That's kind of like what they're gonna get now. People are just sick of that shit, you know. No matter who you are, it doesn't matter what you're doing and who you are. Don't be a fucking dick, okay? Now is not the time. Now is the time to gather together and get this shit back in order. That's what time is. Not time to you fucking hateful motherfucker.
Yeah, and I just remember like the part that I got the most joy out of was like helping the kids and showing them how to do a throw in.
It was adorable watching them.
Yeah, and just showing them, and like showing them how to do a throw in properly, and then they'd be like,
Hmm.
they'd be grateful or whatever. They'd bop off and go play the game. It's like that's what it's about, you dumbass. It's not about who scored the most. It's about learning and the teamwork aspect.
Yeah, you can't give them that uber competitive shit that early in their lives, man.
Hey, man, they're still kids, but whatever. Parents ruin stuff sometimes.
They do. Sometimes they live vicariously through their children,
Let us coach, let us ref, and you can watch it on video.
right? Motherfucker. Step off and let us do our thing. That's funny. Oh my god, these Oreos are calling me.
Right, well, I'm gonna let you go eat your Oreos.
Hmm. All right. Well, you have a wonderful day, and that's a wrap.
Same. Go adopt an animal.
And go what?
Go. Our listeners, please go consider adoption.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Go.
Spay and
There.
neuter. Don't
Spay and
forget.
neuter. All right. Love you.
All right. I love you too. Peace out.
Bye.
Boom.